Now, let's welcome the man who was on Armed American Radio 2 weeks ago, who is going to do a victory lap with us after the primary in a landslide victory in Michigan. Dr. Robert Steele, welcome back to Armed American Radio, my friend. Great to have you back.
Thank you, Mark and Sean. Appreciate you inviting me on. That was a great quiz. I got another. One of my fun ones for 1955 is how many states were in the Union when John Dingell was elected?
Oh, wow. Very nice.
48.
Yeah, the flag was different, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wow.
11 presidents ago.
11 presidents ago.
Yep.
Okay, God bless his service to the United States of America. Your turn.
Yeah, absolutely. I certainly have nothing bad to say about Congressman Dingell personally. He's a nice man and has served honorably. He's kept in the boundaries of the law, unlike many of these congressmen that go over there. And so we thank him for that. But it's time for change. We've got a lot of high-tech stuff happening in the world, a lot of changes happening in the world, and a lot riding on the future, and we need someone young and who's going to carry that forward rather than someone who's looking back at past accomplishments and, get moving forward. Just like Ann Arbor is a young high-tech town who's, highly educated and moving forward. They do better off with one of their own graduates with a couple of degrees and a lot of advanced certifications in highly technical areas than, somebody graduated from law school in 1952.
Yeah, I hear you. It's just time to make a change. And I think, Dr. Steele, that you're feeling that wind blowing. You're participating in it. You're not a career politician, and this is what I'm liking about what's coming up in November. I think the freshness, I think, of what we're going to see across the country and that wave of real change, not Obama change, but real change. And I got to tell you, there's going to be some D's go down and some R's go down.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be both sides. In my particular district, which is designed to be a heavy Democrat district, just the change in the primary alone just shows you, what's coming in November. In 2008, just 2 years ago, Congressman Dingell got 50,000 votes, and the Republican candidate got 11,000, so 5-1, 50,000 to 11,000. And this year, Dingell got 40,000, and we got 36. So it went from 5-1 to 4 to 3.6. So we're a lot of people turning out to vote that haven't been involved before. The people are looking for the consent of the governed, and people are now wanting to, take control of their consent. They were on the sidelines before, weren't offering their consent or their denial, and now they want to give consent, so they're going to go participate. And that's, you mentioned, that's a key thing. I'm not a career politician. I want to go there, study what's going on, and that's the thing about doctors. We have to study what's going on. We find the diagnosis, we prescribe the treatment, and you get the cure. And if you prescribe the wrong treatment and you don't get the cure, you say, "Oops, I made a mistake. I didn't have it right. We have to change it." Doctors are interested in fixing the problem, just like engineers. Attorneys and congressmen, for the most part, especially the career politicians, they have their success. This is the critical feature here. Career politicians' success is measured in one way and one way only. And is that, did they get reelected? And when your success is measured only by getting reelected, it's fairly obvious that your prime goal is to say and do whatever is required to get reelected. And I think we're going to have a whole bunch of people coming into Congress that aren't so much interested in the reelection part. They're interested in fixing the problems, preserving the opportunity for their grandkids, making Congress live under the laws they pass, having them read the bill before they pass them, for goodness sakes, and living up to their title, which is representative. Have them represent the people instead of saying, "Hey, I'm going to vote however I want."
Well, there's a reason that the Constitution was written. We rehashed this again, I guess for a couple seconds, but 2 years in the House of Representatives, the turnover is meant to be high. It's meant to be. Come do the work of the people, then go home and take what you did in Washington and go back to your business. And do what you do. And, I just the words career and politician, to me, I think a lot of Americans are over that. They don't belong in the same sentence anymore, and there's going to be some change. But Dr. Steele, tell us about the primary. And you came out with 51% of the vote in the primary, but that was amongst how many that were running?
Yeah, we had 4 people in the primary, and one of the guys ran last time. And it's interesting, the guy that ran last time actually increased his vote total by a fraction. So all the votes that I brought in were, you could look at it as being new votes. in a way. But the critical thing here now, and just blatant ad here on my part, we've just got to raise some money. Congressman Dingell's got the money pouring in from the PACs. $450,000 last quarter, sitting on $1 million, and I don't need to match him. I just need to raise enough money to be able to get the message out and educate people about his record and how it doesn't necessarily match up with the voters' desires here. And so, I just would make a plea for all your listeners to get over to my website, robsteeleforcongress.com, and donation, any amount's okay. And then we've got a real slick donation site there where they can click to have their name added to the wall of donors that will scroll past, and they can link it to their Facebook and let everybody know they donated, and give everyone else a chance to go ahead and hit that same deal, and just keep passing it around. We got to do whatever we can to do this, because I look at it as a national race. I mean, it's the longest serving guy in history, and it sends a big signal when you take out the longest guy.
Well, you're going to get a lot of news coverage. It is a national race. That's the thing. The implications here are not just your congressional district in Michigan, but the implications here are nationwide. And that's very important. Again, let's give that website out again where people can donate to you one more time.
Yeah, it's Rob Steele, ROBSTEELE 4 FOR Congress.com, and my Facebook page, Rob Steele for Congress, has the same buttons. And I know we're on a show supported by Gun Owners of America, and we know that the Gun Owners of America gave Congressman Dingell an F rating. And I filled out their questionnaire, of course, being a candidate and all that sort of thing, and I think I will be scoring considerably higher than an F. And I was out.
Dr. Steele, I need to ask you to hold on for me for 1 second, okay? When we come back, I want to find out what you were doing just this morning. I think our listeners might like that on Armed American Radio. Stick around, folks. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Even the smallest person can change the course of the future. Profound words in one sentence. Even the smallest person can change the course of the future. Dr. Adrian Rogers. You know who Dr. Adrian Rogers is?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us.
He was a theologian.
American pastor, conservative,
Yep.
author. He was the 3-term president, if I'm not mistaken, of the Southern Baptist Convention.
I believe he was.
From 79 to 80, and I think 86 through 88. And he was born down in West Palm Beach, Florida.
That's right. He sure was.
Mm-hmm. He got into the Christian ministry at the age of 19. He graduated from Stetson University. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to look up a little bit more, but he has got some really profound quotes.
Yes, he did. I used to put those quotes in for a radio station here in Dallas.
Yeah, it's interesting. Listen to this one. I don't want to let this one go. To anger a conservative, lie to him. To anger a liberal, tell him the truth.
That's great.
That pretty much gets to it. And we've got some more from him that we'll read. Really, really astounding stuff that he's written over the years. And I found some of these when I was out doing some digging around. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Armed American Radio. I am your host, Mark Walters, and I'm joined by my executive producer, Sean Young. Sean, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
And we are privileged to be joined again by Dr. Robert Steele, running for Congress in Michigan, and we're going to do the primary victory lap here. And we wanted to bring Dr. Steele back and talk a little bit about the race because it's officially on now, 80-some days. We're going into November. Believe that or not, can you believe that? That, pro football season. I saw something the other day, first game, televised game is the 19th, preseason game.
Oh, no. There's a game on right now.
Oh, is there a preseason on right now?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, okay, I've just embarrassed myself. I'm a football fan. I am a football fan.
I've been keeping tabs, trust me.
Dr. Steele, welcome back to Armed American Radio, my friend.
Thanks, appreciate it. I love your lead-in. You got the Motor City Madman and a Stranglehold, and then
right.
Bill Bennett. I've been on Bill Bennett twice, and he's offered to come up and give us some assistance, so we're looking forward to that. Okay,
tell us about that. You were just on Bill Bennett's show again this week, were you not?
Yeah, the morning after the primary. I think it would have been, Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning, right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's great. We like Bill Bennett. We like when he says nice stuff about us because we know he's a fan. So,
how can you not be a fan of one of the most basic rights that keeps us free? I mean, just you look at the data, and if you want to see where crime rate is low, find out where the concealed percentage is high.
Now, tell me what you did. Tell America what you did this morning. I understand that when you got the call to come on Armed American Radio today, you were heading to the range?
Yeah, I was just actually walking on to the pistol range at Washtenaw Sportsman. They got a great setup there with rifle range up to 600 yards and shorter ranges for 22 and, rimfire, and then pistol range, indoor pellet stuff, trap and skeet, the whole deal, archery. So, yeah, I was out there. We were shooting pistols. We were shooting plates. I did 5 rounds of that, whereas, 7 shots, 5 plates, or max of 7 shots, 6 plates, and timed, and did a bunch of that, and then went over and shot some trap.
You know what? Armed American. John, I got to go here. Armed American, apple pie and grandma. I mean, that's what this is about. And to go out and have fun like that, like you did today, rifles, pistols. You ever get your pistol out on that 600-yard?
No.
Do some long-range pistol shooting?
I just haven't had time, though. They use pistol. They have a competition at 200 yards for pistols.
Mm-hmm.
This club has a lot of really high-level shooters in both long range, and they've got a woman out there who's just killer. She's kind of the Annie Oakley of Michigan, and a lot of real high-end trap folks out there too. But I just get out there when I can. But it's fun. Am I allowed to tell people that I have a blue card in my wallet?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you definitely can.
Yeah, okay.
I was looking at you're in such a beautiful place. I've told listeners before, and I've told you this before. I spent time in Ann Arbor, Michigan, when I was a kid, and I used to get up to the Torch Lake area, absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Higgins and Houghton, and I used to ski out on Wampler Lake, Wampler,
Yeah, sure.
Wamplers, right? Did a lot of water skiing out there, and I had a lot of fun. It was a very formative years for me between 9 and 15 years old in that area, and you've got such an outdoor history in Michigan, the outdoor sportsman, and with the hunting and the fishing and the Upper Peninsula, which is just absolutely beautiful. Folks, if you haven't been up there, my gosh, get up to the Upper Peninsula up there, cross that bridge.
Yeah, you can drive up there. Sometimes, if you hit it right, you could drive for an hour and not see another car driving, on a beautiful highway through the woods. It's amazing up there.
Yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous. I know Sean and I were talking in between the breaks here, and he had a question for you. He wanted to ask you something about healthcare, and I'll turn it over to him because it's now we're starting to see more stuff. Let me say that coming out about this healthcare bill, and I can't think of anybody better than you to ask. Sean, go ahead.
Thank you, Mark. Dr. Steele, how is this healthcare plan if they're not able to remedy it, how will it affect the doctors in this country?
Well, there's a huge shortage of doctors. So my general answer would be is that it's far worse for the patients, mm-hmm. the patient-doctor relationship, and the country as a whole, and particularly the federal budget, than it is for the doctors per se. Doctors have never been terribly active politically, in spite of the fact that I'm now running for Congress. But
mm-hmm.
but generally speaking, they haven't been terribly active, and so changes happen, and they just sit there and they're real involved with their profession and taking care of their patients and very dedicated to that. And Congress is made up of lawyers and not doctors. So when you have lawyers making health care bills, you get what we've got now. Imagine what our country would be like if you had doctors making legal suit bills.
That's a great way to put it.
I live in a different place, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I would like to take that question a little bit further. Do you believe that we'll see rationing of care?
Well, care is already rationed now by the government through Medicaid. And with the payment system that they have, they pay so little. There's very few doctors that see Medicaid patients, and for most things, Medicare, for example, pays about 38 cents on the dollar for where we are, and then Medicaid pays between 16 and 18 cents on the dollar. So Medicaid is already severely rationed by the government because they pay so little. There are no doctors available, and so it's only going to get worse. But just from the point of view that so much more money is going to go to the bureaucracy, there'll be less money available for care. Because there's going to be so many new boards and commissions and so forth that are, having rules. And a lot of people don't understand this whole health care bill really started back last year in February with the stimulus plan when they passed a big electronic health information exchange commission and also a federal panel for coordination of health care benefits, which, those two things, which make electronic health records in the long run mandatory so they can mine data and make sure you're doing what they want you to, and then the coordination of health benefits, kind of the first salvo in that whole thing was the big uproar last year when they were talking about changing the mastectomy rules, mammography rules, and you maybe remember there was a big hue and cry about that. And
oh, yes,
that's just the first step. That was the first thing that they tried to do by, get through basically using that panel and commission, which was all under the... So the underpinning, the whole foundation for the health care plan was actually done last year under the stimulus plan in February of 2009.
Okay, you had said something that gun owners are going to want to discuss. And we did touch on this briefly a couple weeks ago. We have new listeners every week. And a big fear is gun control with the health care bill, and doctors asking you when you come into a new doctor, do you have any guns in the home? And I know we're going to run out of time here, so I'm going to have to ask you to answer this quickly, and then we'll get that. We'll get with you on that later. Tell everybody where to go where they can send some money for your campaign.
Absolutely. No amount is too small, and of course the most is, there's legal limits on that if you're really generous at $2,400. But robsteeleforcongress.com. That's www.robsteeleforcongress.com, and hit the button to scroll your name up there. Let everybody know. Link it to your Facebook. Let all those other gun owners know, and the people listening. Just
absolutely
let it go.
Dr. Steele, thanks for joining us, and we're going to follow your campaign. We're going to have you on again as we get closer to November. Appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. You're on the Armed American Radio Network.